Well, good day to you. Kent Adams here with the Pulse of Spokane. I hope things are going great. Looks like we might have some sunshine. It might be a little warmer this week. Getting ready for April Fool's Day. Some around the staff here think it's my day. I don't know why they would do that. Maybe they've got some trick up their sleeve. They better not. We've got a fun program today. I like animals. I like cats and dogs and all the home pets and even going to the zoo and so forth. And we've got Canine Connections here today. What are they? What do they do? Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
National Barricade and Sign Company is a well-established company founded in 1957. National Barricade has become a well-known business in the Spokane Valley for more than 50 years. Over the years, we have built long-lasting relationships with many cities, counties, and their departments of transportation. Customers come to us because they know they are going to get the best quality service at the best possible price. National Barricade prides itself on getting the job done in a timely manner. We know that contractors must have certain items in a timely fashion to get their job done, and if we don't have it, we will get it. We guarantee fast service no matter how long it takes.
Well, welcome back. And the first thing I did this morning was make a mistake. It's not Canine Connections, it's Canine Companions. And the joke is, it's on a blanket across from me. Bonnie, how are you today?
Hi, Kent. Great. Thanks for having me.
And we have an out-of-town partner and guest, don't we? Michelle, how are you?
Hi there. Wonderful. Thanks for having me all the way from Northern California.
Where in California?
We're in Northern California,
Okay.
Santa Rosa, about an hour north of San Francisco.
Okay. I grew up in Southern California. So you're one of those Northern California girls, right?
You know, I am, but I did go to school in Southern California, so I
Where?
love both.
Where did you go to school?
I went to San Diego State.
Ah, okay. Well, I grew up in the Pasadena area, so we had something called a Rose Bowl game, and Rose Parade, and perhaps you've heard of it. Well, good to have you by the magic of electronics today. Okay, I'm looking over at the blanket over there because that's going to be my cue card, right? Canine Companions. What the heck is Canine Companions?
Yeah. Well, Canine Companions is a national nonprofit that raises and trains service dogs for children, adults, and veterans, and gives them to them completely free of charge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Around the country.
Yeah, all over the United States.
How many branches around the country? Do you have any idea?
Michelle?
Yeah, go for it. We have 6 training centers across the country, including up here in Northern California. That's our headquarters and the Northwest Training Center. And we serve people all over the country, like Bonnie said, adults, children, and veterans with disabilities.
Okay. Now you have a pal here,
Yes.
a companion, right? And what is her name?
Her name is Tokalone.
Tokalone?
Tokalone. She's named after a vineyard in the Sonoma Valley, so one of the oldest vineyards in California, and she was
Up by Michelle.
Yes.
Somewhere, right? You had something to do with this, right?
Yeah, all of our puppies are born within about 90 miles of our campus, so we do have a lot of wine aficionados.
Yeah. Well, she looks very content, very relaxed. But okay, so tell me, how do you find the dogs, number one? And then talk about the veterans and kids and all that, and how you find those folks and match them up, train. Let's go through the process, okay?
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. So it all starts with a puppy, just like an incredible volunteer like Bonnie. They all start in the homes of our volunteers. Puppies are born with volunteers, then they go to their volunteer puppy raisers like Bonnie for about a year and a half. And they teach them socialization, about 30 commands, everything that they're going to need to know to hopefully become a wonderful service dog in the future. Then they come. Bonnie actually turns in that puppy that she's raised for a year and a half to Canine Companions for professional training. And that's where they'll learn the more advanced commands like picking up dropped items, turning on and off lights, opening and closing doors. It's just incredible. And on the other side, how people apply is it all starts online. You apply for a service dog, and it takes about a year and a half to 2 years, but we provide all the dogs completely free of charge.
Wow. Wow. Well, that costs money though. Even though you have a lot of volunteers involved, how do you raise money to do this?
Yeah, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Each team is valued at about $50,000, and that's all the breeding, raising, training, and ongoing follow-up support for the lifetime of the team. So not only do we match the people with their dogs in a 2-week team training class on one of our campuses, we don't just say, see you later, good luck with your dog. We're there to follow up with them for the lifetime of the placement.
Right. Right.
So, like you said, that all costs money, and it is about $50,000 a team, but we're able to give them all away completely free of charge because of generous volunteers and donors all over the country.
I love that. Now, Bonnie, you have your dog here.
Uh-huh.
At some point, you're going to give it up
Yes.
to somebody,
yes,
right?
uh-huh.
How close are we to that?
Well, she's only 7 months old.
Oh,
and so
okay.
we'll keep her till she's about 18 months.
Okay.
So she arrived here in Spokane at 8 weeks old.
Oh, fun.
Just a sweet little bundle of puppy, and we do all of the normal training like you do when you get a new puppy, house training and polite manners. And,
Right, right.
But then in addition to that, we teach them about 30 commands, like Michelle said, and socialize them. That's our job as a
Okay.
puppy raiser, to get them out in the community and be comfortable around other people, other dogs, and not
Other
just
noises, things
Yes.
like that, right?
and not distracted by animals
Yeah.
and barking. And so it takes about 18 months for
Wow.
them to be ready to go on to their professional training.
Yeah. I'm going to guess, I might be wrong. Once in a while, you find a dog that just doesn't adapt like you want it to. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that must be difficult because you
Yeah, occasionally.
become acquainted with the dog and all of that, and then to have to kind of move it
Yeah.
along to something else.
Yeah, well, I think I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Michelle, about only 50% of the dogs actually make it.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's
So
a
you really do expect a lot out of them in terms of being able
Yes,
to.
yeah,
Yeah.
and sometimes Canine Companions can find another organization. They partner with other organizations
Okay.
that might be a better
Okay.
fit.
Right.
If they don't want to be a working service dog, they could work in explosives or at the airport. But sometimes they just choose that they want to be a pet dog.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so in that case, the puppy raiser gets the first opportunity to adopt the dog.
Yeah.
And actually, our second, Tocolone is our fourth puppy that we've raised.
Okay.
And our second puppy, Grazi, she just decided she wanted to be a pet dog, and so she was adopted by my nephew and his family. So
Oh,
she's
fun.
loving life.
Yes, yes.
But-
well, we want that too. We want
Yeah.
that. We don't want to force a dog to do
Right,
something.
they're
that-
all not cut out for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
That's
we.
exactly right. And I was going to mention that the dogs that are, excited to work, the service dogs that make it through our program, and Bonnie's right, it's about 55% actually, 55. And they're so excited to work. And then the release dogs, you'll see, oh, they'd rather just be a pet. And really, our standards are so high. We want to make sure that if a dog's going to go out into service with someone, that they are really the best of the best. And that person's not going to have to worry about anything.
Well, you don't want to be sending out a dog that really isn't ready and can get along with the master, if you will, whatever it's called, and so forth, and especially with kids and veterans who may have other issues,
Yeah.
PTSD and so forth, that you want them to be absolutely 101% or more ready to
Yes,
go out there.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Otherwise, you're spending a lot of time retraining or whatever, maybe, which isn't really cost effective either. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what questions do you ask the folks when they fill out the form that they want a companion? What are some of the typical?
Yeah, so I will specify that, of course, our name is Canine Companions, and these dogs are wonderful companions. But there's so much more than that. They really are service dogs that
Right.
provide practical tasks, perform these physical tasks for people to really enhance their independence. But of course, companionship is also a huge part of the magic of having a dog. Some of the questions that we ask when somebody's applying for one of our service dogs are, what are you looking for the dog to do? What kind of a disability do you have? We also collect medical paperwork. Of course, we want to make sure that there's a need. We also want to make sure that they're going to use the dog in the ways that we've intended. So much money and time and energy has gone into these dogs. We want to make sure that they're going to be utilized. And then the other thing is, we don't provide dogs for every type of disability. We provide them for over 65 different types of disabilities, so we do serve a huge community of people. But let's say there's someone who comes to us and says, I have epilepsy, and I want a dog that's going to alert me to that. That's something that we don't provide.
Okay.
So we just really want to make sure that, one, that there's a need, and two, that our dogs can do what they're looking for. And since our founding, we've placed over 6,700 of these teams. So
Wow.
it's just incredible.
But you can send them to an organization that can better handle their specific requirements, right?
Absolutely. We often will let people know of other organizations that might better fit their needs. But like I said, we do place dogs with a huge range of people. Children with physical and cognitive disabilities, adults with physical and cognitive disabilities, veterans with physical disabilities and PTSD, and then also adults with who are deaf or hard of hearing. And those dogs actually alert them to important sounds in their environment.
What's the biggest group of adults and kids that you place the dogs with? What would be the disability? Is there a common, 30% of them or 50% or?
I'd have to go look at our statistics, but we do have that information. I know that most of the dogs we place are service dogs, so are with adults, performing those practical tasks. Then, of course, we also place them with children. Another fun kind of dog that we place is called the facility dog, and that dog is actually matched with a professional who works in a healthcare, rehabilitation, or criminal justice setting. So a lot of our dogs work in children's hospital or with DA offices and different things. So just really a huge number of people that they help.
Okay, so after you've finished with her, she goes on to get professional.
Yes.
I wanted to say counseling. I guess it's kind of a fallback, but additional training. Now, how long is that?
That can last up to six to 9 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, depending on the category of dog that they're placed.
Right.
So we'll turn her in about a year, and then she'll go
How
off.
hard is that?
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah,
you get bonded with these dogs,
Yeah.
and they're just the best dogs. But what keeps me going, we every time we turn a dog in, we get another puppy.
Okay.
And before the pandemic, we had a graduation ceremony. When you turn your dogs in, it's called matriculation.
Yes.
And
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
They're off to their training.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, the graduates that have been in the 2-week team training also graduate in this little ceremony. And so you get to see the graduates, and the puppy raiser that raised that puppy gets to hand the leash over to the graduate in that ceremony. And it's just amazing to see the stories and hear how these dogs have changed lives and provide independence for people that they never had before.
I'm thinking about some of the people that might need a dog like this, and I just think, well, what a gift from God,
Yes.
really, to come in and have a dog be there for you.
Yeah.
And because not all the time can you have a human come and
That's
check
right.
on you.
Yeah.
And today we've just been through this awful pandemic. We're not completely through it, I get that. But there's a lot of mental illness, there's a lot of suicide out there,
Yeah.
depression and so forth. And so I'm going to guess that many of your clients that receive the dog are heightened in their need for a best buddy.
Yeah, it's really life-changing when they
Yeah.
get these dogs, and that's what makes it easier to give
Yeah,
them up.
yeah.
Because you know what you're doing, and you go into this with your eyes open,
Yeah.
and then get another puppy. And
Do you
so-
ever get to go back and see later on?
Well, yeah, if your dog is matched with a person,
Okay.
then you get to go and hand the leash off to them. And then in some cases, the graduate is willing to keep contact with you.
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of
Yeah.
times the puppy
Or maybe
raisers,
too far across the country or whatever.
yeah,
too.
it's their
Yeah.
choice if they
Yes.
want to keep
Yeah,
in
and it should
contact.
be. Right.
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 But oftentimes they do, and that's just so great to be able to keep in touch with the dogs. And
Okay, how did you get involved in this? How did you say yes?
okay, well, I first heard about Canine Companions for Independence after reading a Dean Koontz novel.
Oh, okay.
He had a character in one of his books that was in a wheelchair and had a golden retriever service dog.
Yes.
And at the end of his book, he had a little information about Canine Companions for Independence.
Nice.
And information about being a puppy raiser. And I read that and I thought,
I can do that.
I went
can do-
straight to their website and looked it up and thought, this is what I want to do. I
Good for you.
loved the organization and loved it. And Dean Koontz is actually a great supporter of Canine Companions
he?
for Independence.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
I was going to say, Bonnie, I hadn't heard that story and I love it. I'm going to pass it along to someone to pass along to Dean.
Oh, good.
He is a wonderful supporter of ours. Our Southwest campus down in Oceanside is named after him. It's the Dean, Gerda, and Trixie Koontz campus. He adopted a retired service dog named Trixie, who he also wrote some children's books about. So
Yeah.
I just
fun.
love this. I'm going to pass it along.
yeah.
How many Bonnies do you have in your organization across the country?
Gosh, I don't know, but only one Bonnie Wakefield.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's over 1,500 puppy raisers.
Really?
I believe right now.
Wow.
We've got 10 in our area.
Okay.
So in the Inland Northwest area, we've got our own little chapter
Okay.
of puppy raisers and volunteers and graduates. And so it's the Inland Northwest chapter.
Okay.
And that covers Spokane, Sandpoint, all the way at Priest Lake.
Sure.
Down to, we've got puppy raisers in the Moscow Pullman area and Lewiston.
Yeah.
So there's 10 of us in this area right now that are puppy
Oh,
raising.
fun.
Yeah, and we are great support for each other.
Good.
And we get together. Before the pandemic, we would get together for puppy classes. Like once a week, we would get together, and we've got volunteer trainers in our group that would help us as we work on training these commands.
right.
And also, Canine Companions is a great resource for puppy raisers. There's videos online, and right now they've been offering puppy classes online.
Okay.
So we get to tune in each week and
What did I forget to ask? What key thing did I forget to ask?
well, we're always looking for more puppy raisers in
Yes,
the area. That's
okay.
one thing that we'd like, if anybody listening is interested in being a
I'm
puppy
going to
raiser.
guess you might have a website to go to.
We do.
Yes.
And that would be-
CCI.org.
Okay.
CCI.org.
And Bonnie mentioned puppy raising, which is just such a wonderful way to get involved. But if you're not interested in bringing a puppy into your life just yet, there's also so many other ways to get involved. And that Inland Northwest chapter is just such a fun group of local volunteers who, of course, you can get your puppy smuggled in. There's lots of puppy raisers, but they also put on events and fundraisers, raise money to make all this great work happen. So they're just an incredible group who have a lot of fun and do a lot of great work for our mission. So thank you, Bonnie, and everyone in the Inland Northwest chapter.
Yeah,
good.
we're before the pandemic, and hopefully soon after here, we'll be able to do presentations for organizations
Right.
if they'd like to. We go to civic groups, to
Right.
churches, to Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts, and do
Right.
presentations. And also we'd love to partner with businesses in the area if they would be interested in finding out more about sponsoring a puppy or working with
What a great idea. And maybe, I'm thinking of some friends, small law offices that have 8 or 10 people and so forth that could take it on and support it financially, but also, push a couple of them in to be puppy raisers.
Right,
you know.
right. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be fantastic. And of course,
And
we're
you know
always
that would become the lunchroom chatter every day.
Yeah.
How's your dog doing? How's your dog? You know.
Yeah, we have across the United States. There's news stations that will raise dogs, news anchors
Yeah.
that will have a dog, and so they become quite
And
famous.
even some of our sports teams here in the Northwest region, the San Jose Sharks are following puppy Finn, who they named like Shark Finn. And he is now in professional training. Also, if there's any craft beer fans around, which I think there are in your area, Russian River Brewing Company, who's pretty famous, they have named a puppy Pliny and are raising it. So just so much fun, so many awesome opportunities to raise awareness and raise these adorable puppies.
Well, I'm going to take a cue from what you said when we get back to actually having lunches together at service clubs and Boy Scouts and Girls. In fact, we had Girl Scouts in here last week, the week before, because of their cookie sale and so forth. And let's get out to them and let's again tell the folks. We'll put it up underneath you on the screen. The website that people can get all kinds of information. I assume there's a blog there or a chat room and some things like that. Things to learn, video, and that's the first place to start, really, right?
Yep.
Yep, you can go to cci.org to learn more, and you mentioned some great videos. We also have a channel on YouTube. You can also follow us on social media, on Twitter and Instagram. We're at CCI Canine, on Facebook, Canine Companions, and we have some just adorable content.
Thank you, ladies, for doing this, for being on, number one, but for number two, really, for doing this for all of those that benefit from out there, for the kids, others with disabilities and so forth. As a father of a disabled child who's 51, okay, I start looking at some of these things saying, what a great opportunity and help that these dogs can be for folks. And so thank you for what you do.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you for having us on because, creating awareness about our mission is so important for us. So
Well,
really
this is
appreciate it.
almost as good as who's the author?
Dean Koontz.
Dean Koontz. So, but this isn't fiction. This is real life.
Yeah.
So if you can help in any way, look up the website, get more information. Thanks for watching. Thank the both of you. See you next time on the Pulse of Spokane.
The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
This is River Ridge Frame Shop, called Frame It Today, where we can take your art, customize it, and get it ready to hang on the wall. Here at River Ridge Hardware, 2803 West Garland.
Weather in the inland Northwest can wear you down. And if your gutters are in poor condition or you do not have gutters, you could suffer damage that could cost a fortune to fix. Rainman Seamless Rain Gutters has almost 30 years of professional experience in serving the inland Northwest region and strives to ensure customer service that is second to none, from the time you call to the end of the project.
Thanks for watching this episode of The Pulse. We are where you are. Check us out on any of these other platforms as well as our website. This show is sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Homes for You, and Apex Cannabis.